you don't have qualified teachers, the teachers cannot have the right pedagogy, the innovative pedagogy to transfer knowledge. That means to teach. That means to engage students in different activities that they would acquire the transferable skills. As we've seen, these transferable skills mainly are communication skills. So, writing, sophistication in communication, problem solving, bridging understanding, the ability to hold dialogues, to debate, is very important. But if the teacher doesn't have these skills, how can they do it? So we talk about pedagogy, we talk about teachers, we talk about systems that allow you to do this. And that takes us back to look at our own experiences in high schools and school, where we used to sit idle, passive students, teachers talking, and then there was an exam, and then you answer questions, and that's it. I don't know if I answered some of the questions. So let's think about the system, and then the critical component in the system, the teacher that possesses the right skills for proper pedagogical skills. Now, as I said, I'm really amazed, sometimes when I go to schools, what the Indonesians are doing with the kids in schools. So much of these kinds of activities that the kids are engaged in. Yeah. It's energetic, right?
Good afternoon, Dr. Anwar. It's a very insightful report. No? Earlier, Sir mentioned about our possible interest in offering apprenticeship programs in high school. No? Well, our experience in, maybe just, I beg for your indulgence, but our experience in Urban Tech, no, is that we have been already exposing our students in apprenticeship programs in high school, such that during their 5th year, by October, they're sent into different companies. And they return in March with a test certification, and they're employable after graduation. No? The main problem that we have with that kind of setup, especially in the Philippines, is that not many schools are doing it. And so the ripple effect is that not many industries as well are quite supportive of the fact that high school students are in the workplace, because they see students as very young. There's a lot of investment that has to go into training, plus there is no certainty that they will work for the company after the training program. No? The sad fact is that, and this is also a challenge for us as we are operating the apprenticeship program, is that we have to work around the parents' interests, and because the belief of the parents in the Philippines that a college education, a college diploma is still the key out of poverty, it's very difficult to compete with that. No, so how we're countering that kind of belief among our students is that, as you said, the paradigms are very important. The pedagogy is very important in schools, and so we try as much as possible to simulate work conditions outside the school during the day-to-day specialization workshop periods of our students. No? Like for example, and this is something that we have learned and realized just recently, when we were letting them, when they were learning specialization classes or subjects, like for example machine shop and automotive servicing, the schedule used to be fragmented. 4 hours a day, followed by 2 hours the following day, etc. When we began to simulate that with an 8-hour work day in the industry, meaning if they're exposed to 8 hours of shop work in a day for 3 days, they begin to appreciate the value of patience, hard work, and focus. No? So pedagogy is very important, and this is where we hope more industries and more organizations could help partner with institutions that advocate the apprenticeship programs, because it's a new approach to education, but there's still so much to learn, and there's still so much to get out of maybe studies and research that will help us better prepare our students.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, you're experiencing something that it's neither fully private nor fully public, and nor fully technical, neither fully academic. So you're putting a different example. Now, for the public school system, to merge or to marry the practical with the academic has to take shape somehow. For example, if it's technical vocational secondary school system, that's very natural. But when it comes to general secondary education, that's a little bit tricky. Because as I said, if you want to do the high school diploma, that means you're talking mainly knowledge. You're not talking about vocational skills. There's no space for it. Because, okay, if you look at it from the science track, you have 3 sciences and 3 maths. That's 6 already. If you have English language, that's 7. And if you have, what else? Local language, so the national language, that's 8. And then you might have civic education. That's 9. So what else the kid can do in the daytime? They cannot do much. So the skills here, the skills component, is not envisioned as it is in technical secondary schools. So the apprenticeship is most suited for a program that is technical vocational schools rather than general academic schooling. Because you cannot load the kids with too many things. You distract them, actually. We have to be realistic. We have to be realistic. But the apprenticeship is most suited. It's most suited when you are in technical vocational secondary school, because it's a must, actually, because those kids have to practice and the partnership has to be built. Now, institutions that they take kids from secondary vocational schools, they're not losing, by the way, because you're sending them somebody who knows what to do. So they're gaining, actually. Yeah, but thank you for this point, because that's very important. Yes, please.
When may we request our participants to introduce themselves when they ask their question or add their comment? And before you do so, sir, may we recognize the presence of Director Lolita Njaga of the Bureau of Secondary Education. Okay, sir, you have the floor.
Yeah, again, this is Tony Lianes from Atreed Computer School for the Blind. This is a very unperceptive mic. Okay, and from the EPA, Global Monitoring and Report, as I understand, we have, this is a review, right, and a report, but I did find a place for me to take off, meaning EPA, even as early as the Salamanca or the EPA, we always see a place for persons with disability or even included in the marginalized sector. Now, I don't see myself in this report, so I don't know how to monitor our sector, our marginalized sector, wherein it is more clearly stated in reviews of inclusive education trends where persons with disability, specifically persons with sight impairment, are aware now. So What is your suggestion with regards to our take-off in our endeavors in different areas of the presentation?